ladies and gentlemen, the Railroad Hour. And here comes our star-studded show train. Tonight, the Association of American Railroads brings you the delightful musical play, The Minstrel Boy, starring Gordon MacRae and his charming guest, Dorothy Warren Show. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. Yes, tonight another memorable musical is brought to you by the American Railroads, the same railroads that bring you the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the fuel you burn, and the multitude of other things you use in your daily life. And tonight, America's railroads take particular pleasure in welcoming to Los Angeles the American Association of Ticket Agents, which is meeting here this week, many of whose members are with us in the studio audience tonight. And now, here is our star, Gordon MacRae.
Thank you, Marvin Miller, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, our story is called The Minstrel Boy. Dorothy Warren told us Bessie. I have the very Irish name of Tom Moore, and J.M. Kerrigan is our narrator. So, ladies and gentlemen, may we introduce The Minstrel Boy.
The minstrel boy through the war is done with wild hot behind.
The top of the evening here. I'm an Irishman, but that shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. You know, some countries have something fancy called a poet laureate. Now, we never got round to that in Ireland, but we did have a bard, a singer of songs, so familiar to all of us that we never called him Thomas, just simply Tom. Tom Moore, as if we'd known him all the days of our lives. And so we have.
Follows and hearing yon charms which I gaze on so fondly today, were to change by tomorrow and fleet in my arms like fairy gifts fading away.
Of course, you know that song, and half 100 others that Tom Moore wrote, that sound remarkably like the heartbeats of Aaron. Let's look in on his life, like the time he came to London from Dublin, with a sheaf of music paper under his arm.
Now, listen to this one, Mr. Carpenter. I am sure you'll want to publish this one. Well, go ahead, Mr. Moore. Thank you, sir.
The minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death you'll find him. His father's sword he hath girded on, and his wild harp flung behind him. Land of song, said the warrior bard, though the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy right shall guard, one faithful heart shall praise thee.
Such a melancholy song, Mr. Moore. It has no fire. But, sir, give me a drum beat and 20,000 marching men, and you'd hear the fire in this song.
The minstrel fell, but the bowman's strength could not bring that proud soul under. The heart he loved has spoke again, for he tore its cords asunder, and said, no full of love and bravery. Thy songs were made for the pure and free. They shall never stop in slavery.
What is this harp you're always harping on, Mr. Moore? It's simple. Symbol of all the fierce pride, all the sadness and laughter of my countrymen. The ancient minstrels carried such a harp and played these melodies.
You mean these tunes aren't even original with you, Mr. Moore?
Well, I merely performed the wedding ceremony, sir. I've taken some ancient melodies and married words to them. And in a few cases, I have high hopes that they will live happily ever after.
Well, not in my publishing house. Good day, Mr. Moore.
Well, it's an old story. The young poet going from door to door. Well, that didn't happen to Tom Moore. The second publisher he went to recognized a good thing when he saw it. And before you knew it, Tom Moore was a famous man. Everybody in Ireland and England was singing his songs. But he never really heard one of them sung back to his own heart till one night in a music hall. There was a girl on the stage, a girl named Bessie. Now, what would you have done if you were Tom Moore and heard that beautiful girl singing your song? Would you go backstage? Well, that's exactly what he did.
I enjoyed your singing, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, they must knows me well, calls me Bessie.
Bessie. Well, Bessie, where did you learn to sing like that?
Oh, they told me as how you was in the audience. And, I was that nervous I could scarcely open my mouth.
You've got a voice like an angel.
Oh, Mr. Moore. And do you say pretty things to every girl you meet?
All the time. All the time.
The time I've lost in wooing and watching and pursuing the light that lies in woman's eyes has been my heart's undoing. Though wisdom oft has sought me, I scorned the lure she brought me. My only books were woman's look, and folly's all they taught me.
And are these follies going, and is your proud heart growing, to colder wives for brilliant eyes, again to fair is glowing?
No vain, alas, and ever from bonds so sweet to sever. Poor wisdom chance against our glance, is now as weak as ever.
Bessie, will you go out with me tonight for a bite of supper and some bright music?
Oh, I'd don't know, Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore. Now, who's that? My name's Tom.
Oh, then I'd love to go out with you, Tom.
Good. Robert! Robert, I'm in love.
Not with Bessie, Tom.
Now, what's wrong with Bessie?
She's not educated. She's not intelligent.
She doesn't need to be, Rob. She has intelligence of the heart.
Oh, Tom, you're a famous man. You could have any girl you wanted. Somebody from society, perhaps.
No, Rob. Have you seen the look in her eyes? Have you listened to the voice and her smile? Oh, the charms, Rob.
Charms fade, Tom.
Well, do they now? I don't think it would make any difference, Rob, not a bit.
Everyone you know will be against it.
But I'll be for it, Rob. That's what matters. Bessie, I want you to marry me.
Oh, you didn't say it. You couldn't have said it.
Don't you love me, Bessie?
Oh, I love you so much, Tom, that I've been crying my pillow wet as a dish rag every night since I've met you. Because I don't think I'm good enough for you.
Well, you are.
I ain't.
Aren't.
That's what I said.
Oh, Bessie, you're the loveliest girl I've ever known.
I know that.
What?
Well, I can look into the mirror and see that I have a pretty enough face. Oh, but 10 years from now, or 20, oh, Tom, would you still love me then? It is not while beauty and youth are mine own, and my cheeks unprofaned by a tear, that the fervor and faith of a soul can be known, but with time only make less dear.
Oh, Bessie, no matter what happens, and no matter what anybody says, no matter what tomorrow changes or the day after tomorrow brings,
Thou wilt still be adored as this moment thou let thy loveliness fade as it will, and around the dear ring it will hold my love. Pure and quiet
We'll return for Act Two of The Minstrel Boy in just a moment. Suppose some evening your son was writing a letter to that nice girl he met this summer. What would you think if he said,
Gee, Dad, how much more does it cost to mail a letter to someone 1,000 miles away than to someone in the next town?
well, that may sound like a silly question, but before the railroad started carrying the mail, postage rates did vary considerably, according to the distance letters were carried. But the railroads changed all that. When they started carrying the mail, the transportation charge became such a small part of the total cost of handling a letter, no matter how far it traveled, that the United States Post Office in 1863 fixed a uniform rate regardless of distance, the same 3 cents that you pay today. And one big reason why you still pay only 3 cents is that the railroad transportation charge has remained fantastically low, today less than 1/8 of a cent per letter. Now, the service that 1/8 of a cent buys is equally amazing. Today, approximately 8,000 trains a day carry the mail, moving between some 40,000 post offices. What's more, mail that travels by rail receives preferential handling by the railroads. It must be taken care of first. Consider the extent of that service, reaching every corner of the country. Consider its all-weather dependability, its preferential handling, its fantastically low cost. And you can easily see why. No other form of transportation can equal or approach the efficiency and economy of the railroad in transporting by far the greater part of the United States mail. Now here is Act Two of the Lawrence and Lee play with music, The Minstrel Boy, starring Gordon MacRae as Tom Moore and Dorothy Warren Scholl as Bessie, with J.M. Kerrigan as our narrator.
Minstrel boy to the war is gone with his wild heart from behind.
Now, isn't it strange that the coin everybody thinks is a rusty farthing often turns out to be solid gold through and through? Well, you know, it was that way with Bessie. Everybody said the marriage wouldn't work, but Tom and Bessie fooled the whole British Isles by spending a mere 40 years together in almost perfect domestic felicity. There was only one thing that worried Tom more.
Oh, Bessie, what's happened? There's no spirit left in Ireland. The people sing no longer. The harp is silent.
Well, perhaps we've become a little hard of hearing, Tom. You can't keep hearing and singing of love's young dreams when you're our age.
I walk through the streets of Dublin town and I see no more singing faces. Oh, Bessie, well, what's happened to our countrymen?
The harp that once through towers holds the soul of music shed, now hangs as mute on Tara's walls as if that soul were fled. So sleeps the pride of former days, so glory's thrill is o'er, and hearts that once beat high for praise now feel that pulse no more.
No more to chief and lady bright, the harp of Sarah swells. The chord alone that grief at night, its tale of ruin tells. The freedom now so seldom wakes, the only throb is when some heart indignant prays to show that still she lives.
Bessie, I've got to do something. Something to give Ireland a voice again.
Oh, what, Tom?
I'm going to write a comprehensive history of Ireland.
You've already written it, Tom. You a song.
Those little verses everybody's forgotten. No, Bessie, I have to do something important and worthwhile. 4 volumes, perhaps 5 or 6, to tell the whole story of this country. Yes, it should take 6 thick volumes.
And such a lot of thick words.
Listen to this, Bessie. The basic philosophic tenets of the early Gaelic cultural achievements were destined to set a pattern of emotional involvement. Bessie, you're not listening.
Oh, I am, Tom, but, well, I don't understand the words.
Now, what words don't you understand? Let's start at the beginning. Thee. You understand the word thee, don't you?
Yes, Tom. No, in that sentence, I don't think I even understand the word thee.
You don't think my history is any good?
I didn't say that. It's just that I wonder if you aren't trying too hard to be grand. You were such a great man, Tom Moore, when you wrote things everybody could sing and understand.
Go to bed, Bessie. Go to bed. don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Tom.
Bessie,
Yes, Tom.
when I keep on scribbling long into the night, what do you think of up there alone in the dark?
Oh, lots of things, Tom. I lie there in the darkness, and I listen to my heart. Oh, in the silly night, ere slumber's chain has bound me, on the memory brings the light of other days around me. The smiles, the tears of younger years, the words of love then spoken, the eyes that shone now dimmed and gone, the tearful heart now broken. Soft in the silly night, ere slumber's chain has bound me, sad memory brings the light of other days around me. Good night, Tom.
Good night, Bessie.
Well, Tom Moore wrote 4 volumes, 5 volumes. It was nearly the death of him. The publishers advertised it, a major history of Ireland by the most famous Irish writer of our century. Then Tom waited for the acclaim that would make him immortal.
Bessie, the reviews from London, they've just arrived by the Morning Post.
Oh, Tom, what did they say? Read them.
Tom Moore, who used to be a fine and eloquent singer of songs, become a pompous literary hack, turned out a dull and uninspired history of Ireland. Oh, Bessie.
That's only one of them. Read another.
Tom Moore has taken the hot potato of Irish history and has given us a cold mess of Irish stew. Oh, Bessie. Suddenly I'm tired. I'm so very tired.
Tom,
Everything, my whole life, seems so unimportant.
you don't have to do important things to be important. Why, it's much better to be the best baker's helper in the world than to be a bad prime minister.
Oh, now, please, Bessie, don't try to be profound.
Oh, now, just that's to Walter Raleigh. Now, he wrote all those fine, grand books, and he took all those voyages, and what do we remember him for? Throwing his coat in the gutter.
Oh, Bessie, what would I do without you? I should count my blessings. 1, my wife. What in the devil is that?
Oh, open the window and see him.
What's this all about? By popular demand, the Dublin printing shop has put out a new edition of Irish Melodies by Tom Moore. Half the population of Dublin have copies in their hands, and they're singing the songs at the top of their lungs.
Did you hear?
We've got a fine carriage here. We've discharged the whole. We'd like to pull you and your beautiful wife through the streets of Dublin town. How about it?
Would you do me the honor, Bessie Moore?
Oh, it has been one of the grand pleasures of my life, Tom.
They still talk about that day in Dublin, when the citizenry sang their hearts out as they pulled Bessie and Tom through the streets.
When
crying, Betsy?
I'm laughing and crying, but laughing mostly.
Believe me if all those and feeling young sons, which I gave them so fondly today, were to change my tomorrow and
Betsy?
Is it still true, Tom?
Oh, yes.
Although my face is full of wrinkles and the gray hairs are crowding into the head.
I love this still.
And 40 years more. How about them, Tom?
I would still be adored as this moment not let thy loveliness fade as it will. And love the
Lovely Dorothy Warren Show. We'll be back in just one moment. Our deepest thanks to J.M. Kerrigan, who was our narrator, to Polly Bear, Marvin Miller, and to our entire company. The Minstrel Boy, based on the life and songs of Tom Moore, was written especially for the Railroad Hour by Lawrence and Lee. The Railroad Hour is brought to you each week at the same time by the American Railroad. Marvin?
On Thursday of this week, the National Safety Council celebrates its 40th birthday. And America's railroads, which were among the pioneers in organized safety work, salute the Council for 40 years of important work well done. America's railroads look forward also to the 41st National Safety Congress to be held in Chicago October 19th through the 23rd. Safety has long been the first rule of railroading, and everything that contributes to the possibility of still greater safety is of prime interest to railroad men everywhere.
Thank you, Marvin. Well, Mr. Warren Scholl, as usual, you were wonderful. It was a pleasure being married to you for 40 years, all in the last half hour.
What's on the show train next week, Gordon?
Well, you just listen.
Seen her before, we don't know where. Seen her before, we don't know where. Seen her before, we don't know where. The one who makes us dance.
That sounds folk songy.
Yes, you're going hunting for me next week, Dorothy, when I shall be the familiar stranger. A delightful musical cram full of all the wonderful folk songs we love so well.
Wonderful. See you then. Good night, Gordon.
Good night, Dorothy.
All aboard!
Well, dear friends, it looks as though ready to pull out. And so until next Monday night, and the familiar stranger, on behalf of the other members of the cast and of the American Railroads, this is your friend Gordon MacRae saying goodbye.
Gordon MacRae can soon be seen starring in Three Sailors and a Girl in Technicolor. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. This is Marvin Miller saying goodbye until next week for the American Railroad. Now, stay tuned for your Monday night of music on NBC.
Tonight, The Voice of Firestone features Eugene Conley on NBC.